My name is Nashida VP. I am from the class BCom CA. For the seminar presentation, my topic is book review. In the book, I have selected for reviewing APJ Abdul Kalam autobiography Wings of Fire. Wings of Fire is an autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam covering his early life and his work in Indian space research and missile programs. It is the story of a boy from a humble background who went on to become a key player in Indian space research, Indian missile programs, and later became the President of India. The book has been very popular in India and has been translated into multiple languages. I recently picked up a copy and read it in a couple of days. It was very engaging initially but tended to drag a bit towards the end with lot of technical detail and procedural information of his space research and missile projects. I loved the initial chapter of Wings of Fire since it gives a vivid picture of our country during 1930 to 50s. Kalam was born in Rameshwaram, a southern religious town in Tamil Nadu. The initial chapters provide an interesting glimpse of religious harmony which existed before India's partition. The famous Shiva temple, which made Rameshwaram so sacred to pilgrims, was about a 10-minute walk from our house. Our locality was predominantly Muslim, but there were quite few Hindu families too, living amicably with their Muslim neighbors. The high priest of Rameshwaram temple, Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, was a very close friend of my father's. One of the most vivid memories of my early childhood is of the two men, each in his traditional attire discussing spiritual matters. One day, when I was in the fifth standard at the Rameshwaram Elementary School, a new teacher came to our class. I used to wear a cap which marked me as a Muslim, and I always sat in the front row next to Ramananda Sastri, who wore a sacred thread. The new teacher could not stomach a Hindu priest's son sitting with a Muslim boy in accordance with our social ranking as the new teacher saw it. I was asked to go and sit on the back bench. I felt very sad, and so did Ramanatha Shastri. He looked utterly downcast as I shifted to my seat in the last row. The image of him weeping when I shifted to the last row left a lasting impression on me. After school, we went home and told our respective parents about the incident. Lakshmana Shastri summoned the teacher and, in our presence, told the teacher that he should not spread the poison of social inequality and communal intolerance in the minds of innocent children. He bluntly asked the teacher to either apologize or quit the school and the island. Not only did the teacher regret his behavior, but the strong sense of conviction Lakshmana Shastri conveyed ultimately reformed this young teacher. Kalam in younger years wanted to be an officer in Air Force. However, he couldn't clear the interview. He met Swami Shivananda after this failure, and I found his words to Kalam interesting and in a way prophetic. Accept your destiny and go ahead with your life. You are not destined to become an Air Force pilot. What you are destined to become is not revealed now, but it is predetermined. Forget this failure as it was essential to lead you to your destined path. Search instead for the true purpose of your existence. Become one with yourself. My son, surrender yourself to the wish of God. In the book, we learn how Kalam started his career in aeronautical development establishment and was involved in the design of a hovercraft. Later, he moved to Indian Space Research, which was the brainchild of Vikram Sarabhai. In 1963, Kalam went to NASA facility in Maryland, USA, as part of a training program on sounding rocket launching techniques. There he came across a painting which depicted Tipu Sultan's rocket warfare against the British. Here I saw a painting prominently displayed in the reception lobby. It depicted a battle scene with a few rockets flying in the background. A painting with this theme should be the most commonplace thing at a flight facility. But the painting caught my eye because the soldiers on the side launching the rockets were not white but dark skinned, with the racial features of people found in South Asia. One day, my curiosity got the better of me, drawing me towards the painting. It turned out to be Tipu Sultan's army fighting the British. The painting depicted a fact forgotten in Tipu's own country but commemorated here on the other side of the planet. I was happy to see an Indian glorified by NASA as a hero of warfare rocketry. The book covers a lot of behind the scene information and technical details about India's satellite and missile program. This might interest technically inclined readers, but is sure to put off readers who bought the book to get know how Kalam or to know how his principles or ideas. Space and missile programs are huge, complex projects, and managing them is extremely challenging. The book does give a glimpse of the participatory management technique adopted by Kalam, but at the same time, it doesn't go into details. Wings of Fire covers Kalam's personal life only briefly, which is strange for an autobiography. For example, we don't know why he decided to remain single or his activities outside space research. Even though we can conclude in the end that he was married to science and technology. Kalam is a poet and is a huge fan of poems. The book contains many of his own poems and his favorite poems. Here is an example. Do not look at Agni as an entity directed upward to deter the ominous or exhibit your might. It is fire in the heart of an Indian. Do not even give it the form of a missile, as it clings to the burning pride of this nation and it thus is bright. Through Wings of Fire, we come across some brilliant people who work behind Indian space research, such as Vikram Sarabhai and Dr. Brahm Prakash. The book also contains about 24 photos, and I found the ones from the early days of Indian space program very interesting. This alone is worth the price of the book. One of the things that stands out throughout the book is Kalam's positive thinking. He held many high ranking positions in various organizations, yet in the book he rarely mentioned anything about legally corruption or bureaucracy or politicians. The secret to his success seemed to be his ability to ignore negative things around him. The book also gives a clue to his popularity in India. Kalam is a simple, secular, inspiring humanitarian. My rating 7 by 10. I liked the initial chapters but wasn't much impressed by later chapters. Kalam should look for a better writer to write his updated autobiography. Thank you.